Our protagonist's last life didn't end on a good note. He lay dying on the floor while his girlfriend got in bed with another guy. He lived in a world where the apocalypse had descended, and resources were more important than the lives of other people. But that's not going to be where things end for him. After his death, he gets reborn with the opportunity to rewrite his horrible life and take revenge on the people that once put him down. The world is already falling into chaos as a volcano erupts right in the center of a large city. A commercial bus races through the city, carrying a few dozen people. A few days ago, the underwater eruption of Mount Fuji caused a massive earthquake that sent tens of thousands of people to their deaths. Today, even a smaller city has to be evacuated because of how intense the disasters are becoming. Through the streets of this city, a bus speeds towards the evacuation location. Inside the bus, a woman realizes that she was in such a rush to enter the bus that she didn't bring any evacuation supplies. Because of that, she will have to buy new things in Yangon City. The man beside her asks if she has seen the news. The goods in the Walmart and Ali warehouses in Jiangnan City have all been moved. In fact, that's old news, because today, Dongming Lake in Shanong dried up, and the Darong warehouse has been emptied too. The woman speculates that the total value of all these supplies could be in the hundreds of billions, but it is, in fact, in the trillions. Another man behind her confirms that the loss of supplies and various natural disasters are just the surface of everything that's happening. The truth is that the world is coming to an end. The people on the bus are frightened by the sudden thought, but they don't seem to believe the strange guy. One of them even says that he's actually looking forward to the end of the world. In that scenario, all living beings will become equal. However, that's not true. The strange guy knows that even at the end of the world, there is no day when all living beings become equal. That's because he has personally experienced the end of the world himself. In a previous life, buildings were destroyed and everything that humanity built was erased. On top of that, giant monsters roamed the land, and everything was completely hopeless. In his past life, he was just an ordinary delivery man who was as surprised about the apocalypse happening as anyone else. When the world began to end, there was an abnormal release of solar energy, and it changed multiple things. The atmospheric temperature rose sharply, crustal movements occurred frequently, and monsters hidden underground also came to the surface. Thanks to that, the whole world changed, and in a new world, there is a new order. The extreme scarcity of supplies, even if it's just for a packet of instant noodles, ham sausage, or a block of ice, caused people to give up everything they had. This guy is different from everyone else because he has seen everything for himself. His name is Suchin, and he was reborn 1 month before the start of the apocalypse after dying in his previous life. Thanks to that, he has all the experience, and now he can plan ahead of time to live the best life he can. While he's thinking, the woman from earlier walks up to him to talk. What he said scared her a bit, and she's now looking for someone to be with her during this entire thing. Unfortunately for her, that person isn't going to be him, because he has more important things to do. He leaves her alone and steps off the bus once it gets to his destination. He doesn't need people holding him back when he knows that what's most important in the apocalypse is an abundance of supplies. In his last life, he wasted a lot of time searching for supplies, so this time he needs to be prepared in advance. He has his eyes set on the warehouse he works in as a delivery man. He grabs his work jacket from a hanger by the door and heads into the storage room. A coworker by the door informs him that being 21 seconds late means that he will have half a day's salary deducted from his salary. The guy apologizes and heads into the warehouse to clear it out for himself. In his last life, when the apocalypse came, the boss of this warehouse ran away in advance, and his annual salary went down the drain. So, these supplies are going to be his compensation. To take them all for himself, he activates a power of his called space. This spatial ability allows him to put everything around him into a super-large cubic space with dimensions of tens of thousands of meters in length, width, and height, according to his will. The space unfolds in the warehouse, and he's able to grab lots of supplies, including rice, cooking oil, meat, and other foodstuffs. Everything, including the shelving itself, gets stored in his space. Thanks to this, he manages to purchase a large number of supplies for zero, and thanks to this ability, he was able to dry up 2 entire lakes and plunder several cities that were destined to be destroyed thanks to the apocalypse. Back in his past life, even a packet of instant noodles was a luxury, but thanks to his spatial ability, he's able to store several tons of fresh food in frozen time, meaning that the food remains fresh no matter how long it's kept in there. He finally won't have to eat dirt in the apocalypse to survive like in his previous life. After collecting all the samples, he can finally breathe a sigh of relief, knowing that he's not going to suffer in this new life. While he's checking on all the supplies he'd managed to gather, 3 men walk into the storage area to start clearing out all the supplies. They are all surprised to see the place has been completely emptied and turned into nothing but a massive hall. There's no one else there but the strange guy standing in the center, so they ask him what happened to all the supplies that were in the storage area. He immediately tells them that he has taken everything for himself. The men are surprised by his nonchalant admission, and they rush to catch him, but he easily uses his powers to dodge out of the building and remarks that he won't be late anymore since he's quitting. Then he just barely teleports away before one of the men can grab him. The 3 men are left desperately searching the area for him, but he has completely disappeared. Outside the warehouse, a portal opens up close to the ground, and the man flips out of it and lands safely in an alleyway between the buildings. This second ability is called Space Jump, and it allows him to move within a 3-meter space whenever he wants. In the apocalypse, this ability allowed him to enter abandoned buildings to find supplies and safely escape from dangerous situations. Even in the face of mutant beasts, his space jump ability saved his life in crucial moments. With that out of the way, his zero-cost shopping mission is now complete. He throws his work jacket into the air and starts walking away from the warehouse. Suddenly, his phone vibrates, and he pulls it out of his pocket to see an emergency broadcast message. It informs him that the Earth is currently experiencing intense movement, causing localized natural disasters to appear all around the area. The message warns him to be careful, but tells him that the disasters will not affect his daily life. The official statement from the government is to not panic, in hopes that the general public will remain calm. Do they even know that the world is coming to an end?